Welcome back everyone for part 2. If you're new, welcome. If you're returning, thank you so much. If you are just clicking on this video, there is a part 1, so I will link that down below to make sure you check it out. I'm talking all things spring fragrance and lots of them. That's why this is split into 2 parts. It was kind of extreme. There were so many loves, I couldn't stop. So yes, this is part 2. If you want to hear all things spring fragrance, make sure you stick around. Make sure you click that subscribe button. Join the fam. You won't regret it. Now, let's just really get started on part 2, and hopefully this isn't a million years long as well. All right, let's go. All right, a cheapie. Gotta love a good cheapie. Okay, don't pay full price because I think full price this runs about $60. Don't spend that. You can find this for around $25 online typically. This is Guess Seductive Red. That was really a tongue twister. My tongue was like, what? Guess Seductive Red. This is an EDT, so it's not going to knock your socks off on longevity, okay? Stick this one in your bag. Bring it with you. This is definitely a Baccarat vibe, inspired by, whatever you want to say. It goes on its own realm, though. This is fruity. There's cherry in here, but to me, it's a little bit of a tart cherry. And just kind of a fruity vibe where you're like, that could be cherry, that could be strawberry. It's just kind of a sweet, juicy fruitiness that you get. This to me is one of those crystal fragrances. It leaves a crystal scent cloud, which can be so inviting, so pretty, and usually plays really well in the air around you. I believe there's an almond note in here, and it doesn't go nutty in my opinion. It almost goes a little bit crisp, a little bit creamy. There's some florals, there's vanilla, there's some pink pepper, sandalwood. Musk is not listed, but I definitely think this is a musky fragrance. The violet in here gives it, again, an uplifting vibe. To me, this isn't really powdery from the violet. It's more kind of the vegetative pulpiness of like a petal, if that makes sense, instead of going powdery on the violet. This just has this very inviting, uplifting, a bit juicy, and some amber tones in there, but none of it goes too heavy. Very light, inviting, and airy. Really great for a warm spring day. This isn't going to end up being too much and, give you a headache, start to bother you. It's very light wearing, and like I said, stick it in your bag because you're probably going to need to reapply. If you like things Baccarat-esque, this is definitely worth a sniff, and to me it's definitely worth a $20 purchase. I would never pay $60 for this. It ain't that good. A compliment getter. This is Flower Bed by Finery, which you can find at Target. I think this is inspired by Chant Atandra, I never know how to say that, by Chanel. She's lovely. I checked out at the grocery store and the cashier was like, I was wondering who smelled so good. It's you. This is very pretty. This has peony, which is to me a very pretty, inviting, feminine floral that doesn't go vintage floral or off-putting floral. If you're not really a floral fan, I feel like that's a good floral to go with. There is green apple in here that makes this very bright, happy, uplifting. Like it's hard to be in a bad mood when you're wearing this. There's also a green freshness. This honestly reminds me a lot of a shampoo, like a very pretty, almost high-end, you're at the salon shampoo. Very, very fresh. If you're gonna be out and about, like you have a full day of running errands, you're getting in and out of the car, you're carrying all your shopping bags around, you might get a little sweaty as you're baking in the sun, walking to your car, like this is a great reach because there is such a fresh and clean vibe in here. This is a mood booster, okay? This would honestly play really well in summertime too, but this is tail end of spring to me. It would be beautiful even now when it's only like 55, 60 degrees, but on a warm day, this is really nice. It's just gonna keep you fresh and smelling good the entire time. You could dress her up, you could dress her down. This is an easy reach, all occasion, within reason. Like I said, not black tie in my opinion, but it's not gonna not work. You know what I mean? It's just so likable. A new one that I am really loving. This is Finery Without a Trace. This is for the girl that's a little bit edgy. She doesn't necessarily want to be approachable. She doesn't have RBF, but like she's kind of mysterious. She's probably someone who people are almost afraid to approach, and then once you get to know her, she's got like a heart of gold. This is unisex, but I think smells amazing on a woman. If you like Fleur, Missing Person, if you like Glossier You, this is that vibe. It is your skin but better. It's still perfumey, but you kind of smell like you've got a really great laundry soap or a really great hygiene routine and you just smell good. This honestly smells like it cost way more than I bought it at Target. There is neroli, which I definitely pick up. It reminds me of the neroli in things like Love Don't Be Shy, but you don't get that candy sweetness. There's cedarwood that makes it very grounded, a little unisex, a little edgy, and very musky. This is definitely like a crystal clear fragrance, very, very musky. You have to like musk. You have to like a little edgy, a little unisex. Like I said, I think it smells gorgeous on a woman, but it's not your typical feminine fragrance. I really like this. This is the kind of stuff my nose is getting drawn to. That was never my thing in the past, and I think this smells beautiful for spring and honestly would work really well in summer as well. Now let's talk about an expensive one and an alternative. Okay, all right. Expensive. It's still a little pricey at Scentbird, but if you were to buy a full bottle, Valia by Perfumes de Marly is very expensive. She's out of my budget, but I do enjoy her. Aldehydes. To me, it's like bright sunshine and fresh air. There's a peach note in here, but it's not like a candy peach. It's not even super peachy. It's like a slice of peach sat on the front porch. It's not like a bowl full of peaches. There's citruses that keep it extra bright, refreshing. There's florals. I get white floral. There is wood, vanilla, ambroxan, musk. To me, this is a very musky, fresh, woody, sophisticated fragrance. It is, to me, another great office fragrance. You are someone everybody enjoys talking to. You're still very put together. I think it's really enjoyable. I don't think it's a $300 fragrance in my opinion, but it's so musky and so fresh that I don't know, just for me and my budget, like I can't imagine spending $300 on her. So I didn't, but I really do like Juliana's version. This is Juliana's Perfume, which isn't inspired by House. I have quite a few from there. I'm very impressed with Ring of Radiance, which is their version of Valia. This again to me is kind of tail end of spring. You need some warmth to really appreciate this. If you love it, you can rock it all year, rock whatever you want. But I do feel like this is just a great easy reach freshie that is perfect for a warm day. You don't want anything that's going to give you a headache. You don't want anything that's going to bother your stomach. You don't want anything that's gonna mix with your little bit of sweatiness you got going on because it's hot out. I do want to say, the more I smell it, it is classy enough that this could be bridal. I wasn't so sure at first, but the more I smell it, honestly, Parfums de Marly, Valia, if you wanted to splurge for a wedding day fragrance, you want something that's going to wear the whole day with you, keep you fresh and smelling very beautiful, this would do it. This is what you need on a warm spring day. This is Parfums de Marly, Valia, and Juliana's Perfume, Ring of Radiance. Some more cheapies. I love an affordable fragrance. This is Dossier Fruity Honey. It might be called something else now. This is the Dossier version of Jo Malone Nectarine and Honey. I'm not super familiar with Jo Malone, but I hear a lot of talk saying that it doesn't last for the price. It's not cheap. And when I pay a pretty penny for something, I want it to last. So if you're a big Jo Malone fan, check out Dossier. This is a great topper to carry with you. I have smelled this one, and they do smell really freaking close. This is so inviting and approachable. So happy. Such a happy fragrance. Literally, how could you be in a bad mood when you're smelling yummy, juicy nectarine, a creamy honey that is warm and cozy, but the black currant and the green in there is keeping this from being syrupy. It's musky, so it just fills the air around you. And again, it keeps you fresh. This has a beautiful freshness in there that I really enjoy. It keeps the honey from going too much. I do enjoy honey and fragrances, but some can be a little off-putting to me. This is almost like the honey is just the golden inside of a really ripe nectarine. Like, I get a very juicy nectarine. If you're having an outdoor wedding though, be careful. I have made the mistake of wearing sweet fragrances to the park with my kiddo, and then the bees won't leave me alone. Ooh, that's the worst. So be careful if you're having an outdoor wedding, but honestly, it's inviting. It's uplifting. It's fresh, but still yummy with that nectarine. A beautiful, and yummy scrumptious, but still fresh spring fragrance. Honestly, this one to me really does scream like from the rooftops, spring baby spring. This is Fruity Honey by Dossier. Everyone that had me chase down in the grocery store. I don't have an exciting life, okay? If I get a perfume compliment, it's gonna be at the grocery store. This is Floral Rhubarb, which is supposed to smell like Marc Jacobs Perfect, which I love, and which I actually do have on my wish list because I really want to get it because I think the caps are outrageously cute. That's really the whole reason. Because I actually like the Dossier one just a little bit more. This one there's just something about it that I like a little bit more than the OG. And I think it's because there's something in this that reminds me of Jolly Ranchers, and I love that. It's almost like if you mix the green and the watermelon ones together, honestly, this is the fragrance. It smells so good. It is candy-like. It's pretty darn sweet, a little syrupy, but the musk in here and the rhubarb, which is a very tart, bitter fruit. I think it's a fruit, or is it a root? It looks like a red celery. Makes this uplifting and bright, but it is so candy sweet, but that tartness and that musk just keeps it from being too much. Honestly, this would be beautiful even in summer, but it's very happy spring vibes to me. I do get just a beautiful greenness in the background. I get florals. It says daffodil, and I could totally see that. Some orange blossom, narcissus, I really don't know what that is. And then there's woods in the base that keep it from being sickly sweet. This one lasts really well, honestly. Not super classy, definitely more on the flirty side. And that is Dossier Floral Rhubarb. A newer one to my collection that I'm really liking. This is Pacifica Dream Moon, and it was gifted by Pacifica. Oh my goodness, thank you so much. Literally getting that package made my day. This is their new Perfume. This was already around, but they relaunched and reformulated some previous fragrances. This is spring date night. Honestly, it would work all year, but there's something sexy about this one. You have herbal notes, pear, bergamot. I think that pear and the bergamot make it go spring in my mind, but again, it is all year. There's sugar and vanilla, florals, coconut, patchouli, sandalwood, musk, and the standout note to me is the oat milk. I don't think I have oat milk in any other fragrance, and honestly, I totally get that vibe in here. There's something creamy and frothy about it, like if you ordered an oat milk latte at a coffee shop, oat milk really foams up nicely compared to other milk substitutes. And I get that vibe in here. There's something kind of creamy and rich to it, but the musk in here, and I don't know what it is, but it keeps this from getting heavy or cloying. It is sweet, but not overly sweet. This does remind me again of something in the Baccarat vein. I don't know if it's the sugar in there giving that sugary cloud vibe. The patchouli is really beautiful, and patchouli can be done so wrong in my book, but it's done really well in here. To me, it's a sugared patchouli. It's something about that dang oat milk that I just love. If it is a cool spring night and I'm going on a date, I would lather myself in this, like lather. It's not a beast mode, it's not a powerhouse, so I would really spray myself, maybe stick it in my bag. I do think if you really apply this, people are going to smell you. It's probably not my longest lasting fragrance, but I do think it lasts. Like, I get a good wear out of it. There's just something mysterious to this. Sexy, intriguing, like, love it. This is probably the only real date night fragrance. Like, lots of these would work for it, but this is like the only one that I really get like sex kitten vibes from. I don't know what you would wear on a spring date night. Can you tell I don't go on a lot of dates anymore? I'm not sure. Is that a black dress still in spring, or is it something else? Not sure, but I would wear this. That is Pacifica Dream Moon. Honestly, with any of these, I don't feel like you could go wrong, But I always say, you know, if you can smell it in store, do it. Don't spend your hard-earned coin without getting your nose on it. Don't do what I do. I love blind buying, okay? But I'm so excited for spring fragrances. Bring on the fresh, bring on the musk, bring on the softly sweet, and I'm there, okay? Like, can you tell I am so ready for nice weather and sunshine? When it is sunny, I am a new human being, I swear. All right, guys, that is all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have a go-to spring fragrance that I didn't mention in my very many mentions, leave it down below. I'm always wanting to try out new things. Thank you for being here, and as always, please try to stay positive, because at the end of the day, that is truly all we can try to do. I will see you in my next video. Mwah! Bye-bye.